All right.
Honeymoon.
Yes. Wonder where they learn pookie poo.
Pookie pook.
Yes. All right, Brett. We ready for this shindig?
I think we're ready for this shindig. Here we go.
When these dads meet world, watching Boy Meets World. We grew up on the show, now we have kids and host a podcast. We watch each episode and then share our thoughts and grades. When these dads meet world.
They want you to take the roles.
Yes, they do. In fact, they want you to take the roles. In fact, your wife might want all of your roles because what are her roles are her roles, and what are your roles are her roles because that's
Amen.
marriage.
Preach.
Yes, that's not the choir I want. Welcome back to Dad's Meet World, your weekly deep dive into that 90s classic show known as Boy Meets World. And Brett, I'm just going to say it. We are the happiest Boy Meets World podcasters there's been so far. I don't know about you, but I've listened to several of the podcasts, especially towards the end of the show, and this is when they're like, this is the worst show ever. I don't know why I ever watched this show.
They really fall off a cliff by this point, a lot of them.
Yeah. So I don't know why we are still energetic about it, but I still can't get enough of the show. My wife said, "Yeah, we're done watching this show as a family." I'm like, I will never be done watching this show.
That's why you got to get Grayson hooked so that he'll stay
true.
watching with you.
I do. And he's already been talking. We're going to go back and forth. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host.
I am Brett, dad number 2 this week.
Yes, he has a lot of poop to scoop. We just had a nice conversation with the moms of Dad's Meet World, and we'll bring that conversation to you in just a little bit. And Brett has some work to do from that.
I got some editing to do.
It's one of those joys we have of doing this podcast, is getting all of us together to have a conversation. At the same token, way more work for you to do every time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, Brett, to save us the trouble, we both agree we're doing okay. It's just cold.
Yes. It did not get quite as cold as I was expecting, but it did still get cold here. We're recording in the midst of winter storm Fern, I believe it is.
Something like that.
Yeah. It always surprises me when winter storms get named, even though they've been doing it for years. But I'm hunkering down, waiting for the anywhere between 6 inches to 18 inches I'm supposed to get here in my part of Northeast Ohio. So we'll see. We're under a state of emergency already, so we'll see.
And the South's supposed to get almost none of what we're getting, yet they're already freaking out about it.
Oh, yes. Well, I hear there's a lot of ice that will be coming, especially in Texas. So,
yes. I did hear that one of the senators has left, and that's how Texans know it's not going to be good for them.
Oh, yeah.
Brett, should we get into this quite aggressive episode?
We should. Let's look at episode 13 of season 7. Here we go. Cory gets upset because he thinks Topanga is better than him. Meanwhile, Eric finds a lucky penny. This episode was written by Jeff Minnell, yes, Santa from last week's episode, directed by Lynn McCracken, originally aired January 7th, 2000. This is 3 weeks after our last episode, and currently has an IMDb rating of 7.7. This has a drop-off of 0.3 points lower than our last episode. And our Nielsen numbers has 9.19 million views. This is compared to last week's 7.28, little bump up.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of a little bounce for us there. So there we go. Our table is set. Let's dive right into The Provider, because I realized I did not give the episode title. The Provider. I gave the episode number. I did not give the title. The Provider.
That's fine. I was just battling with about 17 advertisements for something that used to have maybe one. Anywho, we start the episode off, Brett, with Shawn sitting at a table at where, Brett? The Student Union.
Oh,
Again,
yes.
my biggest complaint with this show in these last 2 seasons is the Student Union.
It's where everything happens.
Everything. I mean, you got proposals, you got people getting back together, you have married couples getting into fights.
You got the Amish.
Yeah, you got a pep rally going on. Anything can happen to the Student Union.
Oh, yeah. You got the military coming in and sneak attacks.
Well, anywho, Brett, we have Cory walking in, and he apparently got himself a job, a job.
Oh, yeah. He is gainfully employed.
Yes. Now, Brett, we both know that the job he has is a complicated one. He's working on all commission.
Oh, yeah.
Which is not a good place to be, especially as a young person like Cory, where rejection is difficult. I mean, some people can make a career out of all compensation. Kudos to them. People like Cory and myself cannot.
No, I would not do well with an all commission based job like Cory is going for. It's just I would not enjoy that type of work environment.
Mm-hmm. So, anywho, apparently he gets to decide when he works, how much he makes, which is a nice ploy that they tend to use to say you will work a lot and not make a whole lot of money.
It's anywhere
That's
between
all.
what was it, $400 and $5,000 a month. I choose 5,000.
Yep. But in the fun scheme that is Boy Meets World, Brett, Topanga walks in, and we find out that Topanga also has a new job.
Mm-hmm. Very fortuitous one.
Yes. Yeah, we find out that Topanga apparently was basically scouted off of the streets.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like one does. And this person that scouted her apparently likes her thoughts, and so she hired her.
Yes, a fashion-minded individual.
Yeah. Which, sure, why not? Topanga is more than qualified.
Yeah, she's a very fashion-forward person, so
Yeah.
she has
No
been since
problem with
about
that.
season 4.
Yeah, I mean, really, season 3, she did take a giant suitcase that's just her hair products to Florida.
Very true, yes.
Yes, but she got a little more Valley Girl somehow in the great
Hello,
state of
bye-bye. I'm
Pennsylvania.
so at the mall.
Mm-hmm.
East Coast Valley Girl.
Yes. But anywho, we go to the other location that we now are very prominent at. I unplugged the wrong thing. Plug that back in, sorry. We go to our next location, their apartment. And I won't lie, I kind of wish we could have had more time this season of them being married, so they could have had more time at the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I almost wish we could have done like a small time skip to be like their senior year. Eric, not Eric. Yeah, Eric, Jack, and Rachel have graduated, you know. Like, I think everyone would have accepted it. Cory is struggling to sell. My guess is that he has had several hang-ups on him. But he gets this customer, Shinazi.
Yes, I imagine he was a lot more positive in the start of his day.
Uh-huh. I mean, like, based on potentially when Topanga's coming home, it could be anywhere between 3 to 8 hours he's been calling people.
Mm-hmm.
And last name Shinazi is not a easy name to get to.
No.
So Cory is having a little trouble. But he keeps calling Shinazi back. And I just think of nowadays the way we do phone calls, and Shinazi keeps answering.
Yeah, I mean, granted, in 2000, most people did not have caller ID. So, the phone rings, you pick it up, you answer, you say, oh, hey, hello, who is this? And, it's going to be a telemarketer trying to sell you Aardvark magazine.
Aardvark.
You hang up, your phone rings, you answer again. It's the same telemarketer trying to sell you Aardvark magazine. You hang up, phone rings, you pick it up
Calls you
again.
back.
It's the same telemarketer telling you how dumb your name is.
Can't talk now, Shinazi. My wife just came home. Yeah, so we learn that Topanga's having a fantastic day. Everything is wonderful for her. She is doing great. We go back over to the student union where Jack has his job back, or at least working there, because they both have
I noticed
uniform.
that too, that he's apparently been hired back because he was officially fired. And it didn't seem that he was working there in a previous episode when Eric was. So
yeah, I mean, if the chancellor's daughter has gotten fired, then it would make sense.
I think she got bored. In my head canon, she got bored with the job since we never see her again.
Yeah, no doubt. But Eric finds a lucky penny. And we get one of the few lines out of Rachel where basically she says, if you had a nickel, I'd marry you.
Dude, give me a nickel.
Yes, but your first was the evil temptress.
She's trying to get his lucky penny.
Yes.
Not lucky day. No. Lucky life.
Yes, lucky life. We never see things get better for Eric with this whole lucky penny situation. I can only imagine that there was like other things written and just got taken out.
I'd love to see what Jeff had in mind for Eric to get lucky with.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. So the one thing that Eric uses the lucky penny to prove it's a lucky penny is he goes up to a football player, Brett, because, college football players, they always have their jerseys on. And apparently his name is Rocco, and the only thing we know about him is he plays either on the offensive or defensive line because his number is in the 70s.
Yep. Rocco, played by Brandon Malale, first and only time we'll see him on Boy Meets World. He has 140 acting credits, including The Huntress, Mad TV, All That, Mr. Deeds, Dodgeball, That 70s Show, The Longest Yard, Charmed, iCarly, Desperate Housewives, The Young and the Restless, True Blood, Bones, Happy Endings, Days of Our Lives, General Hospital, and more. He's actually a pretty consistent soap opera actor.
Nice. Oh, he's the quarterback in Mr. Deeds.
In Mr. Deeds, yeah, he's the Jets quarterback.
No, Daddy, no.
Yes.
You use language in front of a woman. So he goes up to Rocco, who Rocco knows Eric because sure, and he just says, "Hey, is it hard playing football being gay?" And Jack is like, "No."
Jack's reaction is just on point, and the wide shot You can see Rachel with those bug eyes. You can see anyone else on the couch just waiting for the shoe to drop.
Yeah, I mean, Brett, the way this scene is set up is that everyone knows who this person is, and everyone is aware that he is potentially in the LGBTQ plus community. He just has not admitted to it. He is in the closet, and no one's like just said it out loud. I guess. So
yeah, it's they're in 2000, they're either playing it that way or they're playing it that Eric's about to get himself decked.
beaten up. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. But then he goes, "Thank you. Hey guys, I'm gay. That's okay, Rocco. So are we.
We are too." It's a very progressive football team.
Yeah. I mean, Brett, maybe this is just the core group of guys who are all closeted and they don't know how to come out and be their true selves. Who knows? We don't know how the size of Pembroke.
Well, it's Ivy League, so it's pretty sizable. So there you go.
Yeah. Biggest dumb person alive. But Brett, we cut to the outside where Cory is frustratingly playing solitaire because Cory can't do anything right today.
Yep. He couldn't open an aspirin bottle. He couldn't sell. And I want to go back to the apartment briefly.
Mm-hmm.
What made Topanga sit down and try to sell a magazine when Cory took the headset off? What would have possessed her to sit down and try to do Cory's job?
My gut feeling, truly, is I think Topanga wanted to prove she could do it. It's like Topanga has this drive that she can't help herself but to be like, if Cory can, so can I, and potentially do it better.
That makes sense.
I think it's part of their argument they get into, essentially. But and the other thing is she is young. These are what you and I now would refer to as kids. So, I mean, I don't touch my wife's work phone. I'm assuming you don't either, Brett.
No.
I mean, my work phone is my phone, my only phone. So.
Yeah, I mean, and there's HIPAA issues at play if I were to touch my wife's work stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So so Topanga comes to the table and she solves the solitaire for Cory. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, she is like poking the bear like intensely today. Like, I don't know about you, Brett, but I'm pretty competitive. And so if my wife were to come by and finish something I'm in the middle of, I would be frustrated and not want to talk to her just for that alone.
Especially after the episode in the apartment, if something like that had already happened.
Yeah. So Cory informs her that he decided to quit, and Topanga couldn't understand why. Why would it's just sorry. I think part of what starts the argument for Topanga is why would someone quit something that seems easy to her? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, if Cory could be good at this.
She had one interaction, and it was easy for her.
So yes, then we begin their art. I mean, truly, the worst parts of their argument happen all here in the student union at this point. And so I don't want to go blow by blow, but essentially Topanga tries to be like, hey, what's wrong? Do you need a physical thing, and she tries to offer that to go back to their house, their apartment, and Cory says no, and her response is, "But I love you,"
Mm-hmm.
which is not a good place to be in. But yeah, it's almost a toxic reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Topanga then tries to coerce him. He says no, he walks away. I do love that Rachel wants to be a good friend and go, maybe we shouldn't be here.
Yes, very wise words and a good solid plan on Rachel's part to just vacate the premises,
Yeah,
give them some space.
this is the thing, Brett. For all of Rachel's faults that we've had in the past, she has wisdom.
Yes, she
Last week she
does.
was trying to be a good friend to Shawn. This week she's trying to be a good friend to Cory and Topanga, and everyone ignores her, especially because they want to see Cory cry.
Oh, Eric especially.
Mm-hmm.
Even though later he's all, "You're my brother and I love you."
And then Topanga kind of switches tactics. She says, what's basically bothering you? Like, what's up your butt?"
Yeah, what's the bug up your butt?
Mm-hmm. And I don't like this response, Brett, because I don't like this escalating the argument. But he says, if you're as smart as your straight A's say you are, you would know to leave me alone right now.
Mm-hmm.
Which Topanga latches onto and goes, "Oh, so it's about my grades?"
Mm-hmm.
And then Angela tries to interject to try to calm the situation, which just again amplifies it. The one thing that's truly really good about this scene is it shows consistently of the next line amplifies and it amplifies and it amplifies, and it
Yeah,
shows how.
they just keep building on each other, and
Mhm.
it's this tower that it's eventually going to have that one piece taken out, and the whole thing's going to crumble.
Yes, we are essentially rolling down the hill right now.
Oh yeah, we're just picking up speed.
Uh-huh. Yes, because the first time someone interjects and they just like they latch on to it, continue the arc. The next time someone interjects, it's simply just a shut up response,
Mm-hmm.
which is not a good thing to equate. Um, so yeah, just everything that's brought up is like they take one part of it and go, oh, so this is what this is about. Oh, so this is what this is about. But throughout this whole conversation, Cory is trying to say at different points, I'm trying to not say something I'm going to regret. I don't want us to get into this fight, and for lack of better wording, Topanga keeps pushing him.
Yeah, she's just charging on ahead and just
Yes,
won't let it go.
yes. I mean, I do feel Cory's in the wrong for the things he is snapping and saying, but Topanga at no point is trying to solve the problem of we're in a fight. She is escalating it every single time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we know we have problems with Cory and a lot of his interactions with people, but Cory is attempting to find ways to stop and slow things down. Neither one of them are in a good headspace at this point.
Nope.
So yes, Brett, we get to the point where they say things that they really can't take back. Um, Cory says that she has a big mouth, to which Topanga lovingly responds with, "Oh, I have a big mouth," and then she refers to as an imbecile because he can't do solitaire. Did he hear that from his big mouth? To which we get the line that truly breaks everything down. I used to be able to do a lot of things before I married you. Congratulations, you killed my spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Topanga starts to walk away. He says, "You leave, I win, bye." And I like that there's no immediate recognition of he did something wrong. It's just he is so angry that it just cuts off right there. And Brett, we share a little bit in our discussion that we'll get to with the wives, but you have to stop yourself somewhere, or you will say things you are going to regret, things you cannot take back.
Oh yeah.
So this fight has escalated to a point of no return for the two of them.
Yes, it has. It's their first fight as a married couple, and it's a doozy.
Mm-hmm. It is. Well, and one of the things I was thinking about when I was watching this with Sarah was anytime in the past they've gotten to a point of almost being in a fight, they've walked away from each other, they've left it before the fight really happens, or they end the relationship. Like, that's kind of been their MO of not really getting into the heart of whatever's going on. But now they're married. They can't just go to their own homes because they share a home.
Yeah, there's no easy trap door, no escape hatch for them this time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no way to get away from each other. They're there.
Yep.
Cory and Shawn then reflect on what happened, which is basically, hey, we had a fight. This is bad, but you got to go deal with this. And I like that Shawn's made very clear to him, I can't help you solve this. You got to go figure this out with your wife.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, I like that wisdom that Shawn brings up. He's got a lifetime of seeing parents, husband and wife, fighting unfairly, and seeing what it is to snipe and to take low blows and pot shots at each other, and to see what doesn't work. So he's got a lot of experience knowing what to avoid. And so he brings in a lot of wisdom to share with Cory in just a simple couple of sentences.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a very real chance, Brett, that he has seen some very scary fights.
Yeah, because remember, Chet was a drunk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's been reasons why Verna left, and Ming won as well.
Yeah.
So, and whoever Shawn's mom actually was. This is a very real chance that Shawn has never really seen an actual positive fight or resolution to a fight.
Yes.
Which is why I think Shawn has his problems later on. But we do get to my favorite line in the episode, Brett. And I'll read it verbatim. Eric talking to Shawn. Why don't you cram it? Talk boy. That's all you're good for is talk. Oh, look. Talk. Oh, look. It's Trailer Boy. Trailer Boy's got all the answers. You know something, Trailer Boy? You're something you don't got. Bam! Penny. But he gives the penny over to his brother because his brother needs some luck. Eric didn't realize how important this lucky penny was until this very moment. And now he'll go through the rest of his life penniless.
Yep. But the penny taught him confidence.
Yes. I mean, when you think about it, Brett, the lifestyle he does lead later on into Girl Meets World is not far off of being penniless.
Fair.
Yep. So yeah. So they all clear out of the way so that way Eric can get struck by lightning.
Twice.
And then he says, "At least I didn't get wet." And a janitor walks by, and dumps water on him.
Gotta douse the guy that's smoking.
Oh gosh. I think at this point, Brett, we should turn it over to our conversation because a lot of our conversation has to deal with this particular part of their argument. Although we cover a lot more than that, so regardless, we're gonna take this moment to say, "Take it away, other Tyler."
That's right.
Good-looking people. We are joined potentially for the last time, maybe question mark, by the wives. Maybe we'll have them back for the finale. Maybe. I think they're over talking about this show.
Agreeing to this one.
If you guys are well behaved and do everything we say from now until then.
Yeah.
I didn't agree to that.
Well, I didn't agree to this.
So, ladies,
Guys, we're talking about fighting today.
How did you feel watching this episode? In particular, who was wrong in this fight?
You were wrong because you made me watch it.
If I'm wrong, I'm asking between Cory and Topanga.
The problem is not right and wrong, it's their maturity level. They don't know how to fight, or they're not mature. They shouldn't be married. I'm not even convinced they should be together at this point. I'm over Boy Meets World.
You're not allowed to give a grade today.
That is awesome. I went right into therapist mode when I was watching them. I couldn't help it. I was psychoanalyzing their relationship and their individual selves coming into the system of being married.
Speak more on that.
Yeah, Kelly, speak more in that.
Oh gosh, okay. So obviously Cory has always been and will forever be, at least in my mind, insecure.
Cucumber boy.
Yeah, that too.
It's a way to put it.
He had a picture of a cucumber on his wall, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I didn't even notice that. But yeah, very insecure, very and they're both self-centered at this point. They're what, 18, 19 years old?
I think they're supposed to be 20
by this point.
Yeah, roughly, they're supposed to be 19,
still
20.
way before the frontal cortex.
They're not old
finishes.
enough to drink yet.
Right.
That's my bare minimum rule. If you're not old enough to drink at your wedding, you should not be getting married.
Yeah. It just, when they started calling each other names, I was just like, oh, don't do that. That's the worst.
And the low shots, you can't even finish solitaire, you imbecile.
Oh yeah, that one really stung.
Yeah. Their maturity level is just, they're not fully adults. They're not grown.
And I don't think Topanga ever had a ill will towards Cory.
No. And honestly, I think for her, it was just she wanted to share the joys of her life with her partner.
Correct.
Not to rub it in his face, but if you're with somebody, you share things with things that happen, even if I have a really good day at work, and I yell at somebody or something, the first person I'm gonna tell is Tyler.
Have a good day at work and you yelled at somebody.
Yeah, it's a good day.
It's a good day. I got to yell at someone.
I feel that so much, Sarah.
Okay, now, ladies, I will ask this question. If your husbands properly communicate, I'm having an off day, I'm not in a good headspace, do you, at this point in your marriage, go, I know I need to back off, but early on in the marriage, did you go, well, I have to fix him right now?
Did I have? Oh,
I don't know. Did I
think back that far? I know, right? I'm like, huh. You'll have to tell me,
I
honey.
probably did, but like, I don't think I was like. I don't know. I don't think she was trying to fix him, but
she should have picked up on his cue. Like,
yeah,
that's
I
where
mean,
it
I will say, like,
escalated.
I'm better at picking up on your cues now than I was when we were first married, but you're also not as good at hiding it. I mean, with the growth of the marriage, like, obviously you're going to handle things differently.
Yeah, but yeah, that I saw that too, Tyler. How when Cory was trying to be like, "Hey, I can't talk about this right now," that should have been the cue to Topanga to back off. At the same time, Cory took everything she said like he was taking out his own insecurity on her instead of figuring out a way to work through it either with her or with someone else.
Yeah.
And that comes, I think, with time, like Sarah said. Like, it's easy to get in those types of fights when you're newly married.
So, Kelly, can you remember what your first year of fighting was like? What they were about?
I remember the things before we got married, as we were like, I don't even know if we were engaged yet, but as we were dealing with certain family members and the one thing I really do remember is when I was trying to fight with Brett, because that's kind of what I learned was like how to guilt trip and be manipulative, even though I didn't know it. Oh, don't you start.
I don't believe it.
Right. And I still remember Brett's like, we're not doing that. And I'm like, doing what? And he explained it to me. And I'm like, oh, that isn't good. So then we had to talk about how not to do that.
Well, and yeah, it's kind of a learned behavior. Like, if that's what you saw growing up, like.
Right. Yeah. So it didn't click with me that wasn't how you did things. And yeah, he was just like, no, we're not doing that.
Clearly Topanga's parents had a very healthy marriage, so.
Right. So, but our early years of marriage,
we never had any knockdown, drag out fights like Cory and Topanga. No, we always, and we set the ground rules early with fighting. We had some good premarital counseling.
Well, and we also had experience in horrific relationships. Like Cory and Topanga didn't have that to like work through. Like we worked through a lot of this is what we don't want in a marriage with other folks that we dated. So that helped too.
Yeah. Well, and part of the problem, I will say, for this argument, it's not just the first year of marriage problems. It's they've known each other their whole lives. So it's like all of the things that Cory used to be able to kind of get away from his wife, get away from Topanga, and not think about, it's all right there. She's there all the time. So,
yeah,
it's what's that saying? What's great about when you first get married is you're now with your best friend all the time. What's horrible when you first get married is you're now with your best friend all the time.
Right. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when Cory said, I don't want to say something I'm going to regret, I don't want to open up any wounds for us, but I know for a fact we have been in situations before where we're kind of in a potential start of a fight, and I'll look at you and go, I don't want to say something I will regret. Give me some time, and you've respected that. So at no point have you ever crossed that line. But Topanga saw that line and bulldozed through it.
I think like when I was younger, though, I probably would have done.
Oh, you
that
cried,
then.
that's for sure.
Yeah, like because that's a learned behavior. But it's with growth and us talking. Like I know, okay, instinctively I want to poke that,
Yes.
but I refrain from it.
Kelly, did you do likewise of poking a bear?
I don't think I did with Brett. I definitely have in other relationships before him.
I'm not the only one that pokes the bear, though.
I know.
No.
Like
And
you
granted,
also.
Right. And granted, those were relationships I had when I was 17, 18, 19 years old.
You know, not far off from Topanga.
Right.
So in the process of them actually now being in the room, I will say I do like this scene and the way that they kind of are going back and forth with each other, the flow of this argument. And some of these things I also know for a fact we dealt with in some of our arguments.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I don't like the way they refer to it as a fight, because like for us, when we have a thing, I don't look at it as a fight. It's just like we have very different. Like there's something going on with both of us that either we're upset about something else or just we disagree on something. How do we figure out how to move forward? Where they literally said horrible things about each other in front of their friends.
Things you cannot take back.
But I like that when she's still angry and he's trying to talk to her, she's like snapping at him. So he just stops talking. He's like, why aren't you talking anymore? Like, I'm afraid to say something.
Right. Yep.
Fearful to say something. I'm not gonna lie, we've been there before. At least I have. Of not sure what to say. How do we move past this?
Oh, sure. We have been there too. Absolutely.
Thank you, please. I was like, I'm being vulnerable. Someone else be vulnerable with me.
Oh yes, we've been there too. Scared to say something. Scared how they're gonna take it.
When it got to the point of Cory saying, "Here's what I'm feeling. Here's my actual thought," I turned to Sarah and went, well, here comes my favorite part. She rolled her eyes at me. Because Topanga then gets sad and makes it all about how she's hurting him. She's clearly a bad person. She is the worst person ever. I'm like, oh, yep, there's that point in the fight where it's no longer the fight. It's the healing moment now.
Yeah, and the realization. Because I don't think she realized at all until then that what she was like, that there were things that hurt him.
So, gals, would you agree that the most important thing about a fight is not about agreeing who is wrong, but admitting to the wrongs you both committed and agreeing to do better next time?
Communication.
You could just say, yes, honey, you're right.
You didn't say communication. Yes, honey, you're right.
Thank you. I know it was very hard for you to say that.
Now you guys sound like Alan and... Can I think of mom's name? Amy. Thank you.
Amy. Yeah. This would have been a great episode to have Alan or Amy come out of nowhere.
Yeah. Some experienced fighters to give some guidance.
Healthy fighters.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you, Tyler. Sometimes when we fight, like, we want to just be the one that's right, so we take it too far. But the real thing is to make up quickly, I think, and own our own stuff and move on from there.
There's rarely a fight where one person is just actually like right. It's 95% of the time. 97% of the time.
98%
Yeah,
of the time.
99.9% of the time we are both in the wrong.
For something, right? Yeah.
Normally,
Yeah.
you think I'm in the wrong first. But I think you're in the wrong first.
Yeah.
That's why it's called a fight.
I got it. What are some really bad advice that people think is golden for marriage?
Don't go to bed angry.
That's the first one I was thinking about. Because that's a big one for us that I'm like, no, have her go to bed. She's so much better off when she gets sleep.
We're less likely to fight if we go to sleep.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
What about for you two?
I'd say all you need is love tends to be a pretty bad one to give.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's pretty bad advice to give.
Yeah.
All you need is love. Love. Love.
I mean, it's a good foundation to have, but you need a lot more than just that.
That is a good one.
Yeah, and any of the ones that like say a couple fights and then they're talking to like a friend or someone else about it, and they always point out like those stereotypes, like, well, the man should have done this or the woman should have done this type stuff, like making it more of a separation of the two folks than coming together to fix the problem. It must be the other person, type scenario.
I mean, I know this isn't actual advice that I've heard given, but my biggest thing I know for us is that when we have problems or disagreements or arguments, whatever we want to call it, we keep it to ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And unless something funny occurs that we're both like, that's okay to share, we don't talk about it.
Right.
So smart. Now there's some good marriage advice for you.
Yeah. The funnier thing is that sometimes when we're like bickering and just like teasing each other in the car, Grayson will go, "Don't fight." We're like, "Honey, this isn't fighting. You've been around us when we fought. This is not fighting."
And we'll just like literally be teasing each other like over something stupid. Like it's not even real fighting.
But he must defend his mommy
I
from
know.
his mean dad. Well, ladies, how could Topanga have not gotten into this bad fight with her husband? I think that's the last question we should end on.
Sarah's gonna smack you. I can't even see her.
All of a sudden, you're gonna like see my hand reach.
I've been waiting for that hand to come into frame on that question.
We know that Tyler has learned over the years how to press your buttons, so there was one.
Here, let me do it this way. There are ways Cory could have avoided this argument.
Yeah.
The first one being not going into a public location. If he's not doing okay, and it seems like he is dealing with some anxiety, so maybe if he went for a walk but came back to his apartment, he should not be trying to be around other people. That would be one big thing.
Or like, if you are in a group with people being like, I can't talk about this here.
Right.
Let's talk about it when we get home.
Yeah, can we go home and talk about this?
Right.
Like, but also, I mean, she could have been like, hey, I see you're upset. Do you want to go home so we can hash things out?
Yeah, I also think like once he saw that they were raising their voices and their friends were trying to cut in, Cory should have said, "We are leaving now."
Right. We don't need your help.
Right.
Yeah, I think that they needed to be when you're having a fight in your marriage, you don't need to bring other people in, or other people don't need to help you.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Cory could have communicated earlier on of like, hey, I feel like I'm doing bad at this. I'm not feeling good about myself. Like, I'm happy you're doing good, but I'm not.
Right. Could you communicate less about
Right.
how awesome you are? Okay.
So how could Topanga have done better to avoid the fight? That's the real question.
Well, she didn't need to push his buttons whenever he said, I don't want to say something I regret. Like, she just...
She sure did. Very, I was thinking of her being a little naggy, like, and I hate that word, but, but she was like, come on, tell me now, I need to know now, which again is that, like, she needed to know type deal.
Like, she could have been like, hey, I see you're upset. I do want to talk about this.
Right.
And then maybe let's have Nick afterwards.
Right.
Pookie pook.
No, pookie pook. Yeah.
She did try to solve it with that to begin with, guys.
She did.
Give her a little credit.
Hey, sometimes it's okay as a man to not want that.
Yeah. Oh, of course. But I'm saying she tried. Yeah. But I think Sarah hit the nail on the head at the beginning of our discussion. Like, they're just not only in their first year of marriage, but very young, very immature, learning how to adult, even in fighting and conversations.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way it ended, though. That was good.
Them snuggling?
Yeah, and just like talking about the ways that they're gonna do better with each other, and
selling
how
a
she helped
magazine.
him sell the magazine. I know, so cute.
Shanazi.
You have a stupid name.
What kind of name is that?
What advice would you give being married for 21 years? I'm mostly asking you, Kelly, because I know Brett and I will talk about this in a different section.
Sure. And it's so funny how this episode we're talking about fighting fair, because that's the best marriage advice I got before we got married. I was actually at Geneva College. I was in my experiential education class with, at the time, Mr. Martell. And he was about to get married. And we had a girl in the class that was already married. So he asked her for marriage advice. And that's what she gave to him, was learn how to fight fair, especially before you start the fighting, like learn how to do it before you get to that point. And that really stuck with me. Because I think that open communication, being able to be quiet when you're supposed to be quiet and walk away when you need to walk away is really good and healthy. How about you?
Nice.
Use I feel language.
Oh, yes. And not, you made me.
Never use the word always.
You broke my spirit.
I know. Yes.
I feel like you broke my spirit.
Yes.
I mean, my favorite line for this episode is, you walked away, I win.
Bye-bye.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
yeah, that's
good.
not how it works.
I feel, not you made me. And what was the other thing you said?
Never use the word always.
Or never. Never
Yeah,
use never use the word always or never.
Yeah. You never do this. You always do that.
That's where I always get myself in trouble in our fights, Sarah. Is when I tell Brett, you always, and he goes, no, I don't. Don't use that word.
Always watch the Steelers game.
You almost always.
I do think I do that sometimes, because I'm like, the one time I was fighting with you about your headphones, I'm like, you always have a video on in your headphones.
Did I snarkily say, no, sometimes I have an audio
Yeah,
book?
that's exactly how you responded.
And Sarah, we should have said, I feel like you always
Mhm.
have, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you guys will agree to this too, but I feel like the longer in marriage you go, a lot of times, like, the fights, disagreements, they come out of nowhere a lot of times. But it's all like was built off of something that you weren't aware was like coming at you.
Yep. Absolutely.
Like, because Sarah is an acts of service, I try to do acts of service, like trying to keep up with the dishes, trying to keep up with the laundry, trying to be good about taking my turn for cooking food, and then out of nowhere she'll be like, "Your children are hungry. We need to get moving," and I'm like, okay, something happened. But what always comes out of my mouth is, "Well, you don't appreciate me." It's like things have escalated quickly. How do we revert back?
Yep.
And
it's
then
usually
I'm
it's that
just
last straw.
angry.
Yes.
Uh-huh. And it's just that last thing, you know? It's the
Yep.
last thing on top of the pile.
The kids are hanging on me. They're all three talking and screaming at me at once. The dog wants me to pet him. And then the cat's there. And then I look over and you're just standing there.
But the burgers aren't perfect yet.
And I'm like, just give them something to eat.
Here's some goldfish.
Or my favorite is I walk in and I'm like, what's the side? And you're like, I haven't started it yet. What are you talking about? The main entree is almost done. I was going to throw some fries in the air fryer. That's another 10 minutes.
I'm getting better at that. So, if the two of you could give a grade, potentially your last grade for the show, for this
I
episode.
thought I wasn't allowed to.
Well, give a grade and we'll decide if we're going to keep it in or not. It depends on how much you mess up my bracket.
C+.
C+?
Yeah.
No
Passing
judgment,
grade.
Tyler.
We listen and we don't judge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why do you give it a C+, Sarah?
I don't like that they fought so dirty and they were very hurtful, but they did bring it around in the end. But like the whole lead up with the fight and their friends getting involved and all that, just it put a bad taste in my mouth.
That's fair. My grade's a little different.
It's fair.
Yeah, I'll give it an A- actually.
That's a
Just
good
because-
grade.
Oh, quit being so judgy. Wait, that's in my favor. So, yay, good job.
That was a positive for you and a negative towards me.
I know. That's why I was a little I was sticking up for my friend Sarah over there.
That's right.
But the reason I did was because it really made me think about relationships and communication. And I'm a social worker and I do therapy with folks, and it's just in my wheelhouse too. So I think that's why I like that. I loved Shawn's wisdom with Cory sitting on the couch. That was
He did do well with that when he was like, you're not going to be able to talk it out with me.
right. Yep, that was really good. And and he's like, go home, hope she's there. And Cory's face was just perfect. Like, oh my gosh, I didn't even consider that she might not be there.
B-.
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
I forgot about the Shawn part.
Yeah, I really liked that. And I mean, you said you loved the Eric storyline,
I did.
so
I
you
did.
gotta give a
did.
little bit for that. So, but that's why I gave it. And the fact that they talked about, like they worked it out and realized they're a shout out to Grayson, not competing but on the same team, I think was really good.
Mhm.
So, good writing. Not a lot of episodes gonna episode except for Eric's storyline. Um,
Eric's storyline is literally to be there so you don't
Comic
feel the
relief.
episode is as heavy.
Yep. Yes. Comic relief.
In case you're not able to hop back on for the finale, moms, we greatly appreciate all of the sacrifices you have made over the years now that we've been doing this podcast and
Mhm.
putting up with our overthoughts on the show. We appreciate that you haven't let the guilt of not watching any episodes or listening to too many episodes overtake our relationships. So
Oh yeah, that part was easy. But thank you.
Yep.
regardless, we thank you, we appreciate you, and we thank you for your service.
After you're done with this podcast, I have a we can't watch Boy Meets World for at least a year in this household. I don't care what you do on your own time, but if I'm anywhere near, no Boy Meets World goes on that television.
I don't think you understand. We have a bracket. It might take us a whole year to do.
Wait, what?
Well, thank you, handsome one, for that. Brett, I will say that was an enjoyable conversation we got to have with our wives. I like to believe that we have much better communication skills than Cory and Topanga ever did. And,
I like to think so.
and I'll say this selfishly. I met my wife when I just graduated high school. The show Boy Meets World was truly helpful for me personally and finding ways of not communicating. Like finding better ways to not bring harm to my wife, for lack of better wording. So I will always be thankful to this episode because seeing drag out fights like this made me go, I don't ever want us to have a drag out fight like this. I'd rather just talk things out with her always.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'd have our little mini drag out fights, but never anything too bad.
Yeah, we don't have any really drag out fights, and we learned early on to fight fair, like we mentioned in our conversation. We had really good. I didn't go into it too in depth into our conversation, but we had really good premarital counseling where we
Mhm.
talked in depth about fighting fair, what
Yeah,
that
I think
looks
that's
like.
really wise.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time on that. What it looks like to fight fair, what it looks like to not fight fair, and the importance of being able to fight fair when disagreements come up.
So, yeah, I really enjoyed our conversation about fighting and going through this episode. But yes, this is definitely also a more Hollywood situation. There is some reality within this, but I do think this show needed to have a moment where Cory and Topanga couldn't do what they normally do when they had problems. Because in the past, it was always, I go to my house, you go to your house, and we don't talk to each other. We ignore each other, and then we'll eventually come together and find a resolution. And when you share a one bedroom apartment, you can't do that.
Yeah, and as much as we noted in our conversation, it would have been great to have Alan and Amy in this episode to have that sounding board. And as great as it would be, there is benefit to them having to figure this out on their own.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, and we talked about of some of the things you bring into those arguments are learned behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
So your parents might not be able to resonate with the problem you're having or with the problem they're having with you because they can't see it like that, which is understandable.
Mm-hmm.
So, I do love, Brett, that they decide to tackle Shinazi one more time as a family. So they both call them, and Shinazi decides he is going to buy a magazine.
Yep.
Aardvark.
1 year subscription to Aardvark.
Yeah, I will say this whole 90s thing of, yeah, okay, hang up. This is what's happening.
We'll bill you. We got no information about what kind of credit card information we've got on file. You can't possibly have that at all. It's all very Hollywood, but okay.
Yes. We do get to the tag, Brett. The tag is Eric knocking on the doors, looking all disheveled, and just says, Penny. To which Cory puts it in his mouth, and Topanga looks grossed out, and we turn, and Cory is just laughing.
Oh yeah, that was definitely Ben breaking.
Uh-huh. Well, because there's also the phone right behind. It wasn't ringing, and he just picks it up and says hello.
Yeah.
Yes. But, Brett, this is our episode, our very toxic, arguing in the middle of the student union episode.
Indeed. Well, let's, do you got any deep dives for us, Tyler?
Yeah, let's do it.
People. Am I the only one who read the summer reading list?
Well, Brett, let's just say that selling stuff over the phone became super popular in the 90s and it continued its way throughout the 2000s, especially with the internet increasing those type of businesses. I had something else. I saved something different, so we're going to skip over all that. Okay. But basically, with all commission sales, this thing I want to mention, unfortunately, if you're doing all commission, that means if you don't sell, you don't get commission. That's the way it works. So there are some companies that are not bad companies. They're not actually Ponzi schemes, but they are all commission. So if you don't sell, you'll make no money, and that can be very frustrating.
Yep.
Yes. And that's all I'm going to say on that topic. Brett, you might be wondering, Cory's selling magazines. What are those?
What is a magazine, Tyler?
Well, a magazine is a periodical publication, printed or digital, produced on a regular schedule that contains a variety of subjects, ornated textual or visual content. Magazines are generally financed by advertising, purchase price, prepaid subscriptions, or by contribution of the three. A lot of times there's gossipy magazines. Those are often the biggest ones. The earliest magazine is a literary philosophy magazine, which was launched in 1663 in Germany. The Gentleman's Magazine.
Fancy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no. The Gentleman's Magazine was published in 1741 in London. Was the first general interest magazine. The original was the philosophy magazine. I have no idea how to say this thing, so that's why I'm not going to continue on that. So, but yeah, we know magazines in America mostly through the lens of the 90s, of the tabloids, and literally driving all celebrities crazy because their life became content way before social media.
Mm-hmm.
Did you, just out of curiosity, Brett, did you ever watch the Britney Spears documentary?
I did not.
Yeah. So they did a whole thing about her conservatorship and what led to all that, and they had some of the tabloid people and the people, especially people doing photography at the time for all that, basically being like, "Oh, we really cared about her, and we check in on her while we're taking pictures of her." And it would be like there would be video of them taking pictures, be like, "Hey, are you okay? Hey, what's going on? Why don't you talk to us?" And it's like, but you're there to get a picture of a meltdown. You're there to make money. You can't say you care about that person and then make money off of their pain and suffering.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't be like, hey, I really love this celebrity, and then take a picture of how they look in a bathing suit, from a bad angle with a weird lighting to make them look out of shape and gross when they're just trying
Yeah.
to relax with their family.
Exactly.
So, yeah, just ridiculous. Brett, you may have wondered just like I did. What is an aardvark?
Ooh, an aardvark.
So an aardvark is a medium-sized nocturnal mammal native to Africa. The aardvark is the only living member of the genus, oh gosh, Orysoporus. The family, oh gosh, I have no idea how to say those. We're not going to do that. It has been long been probaceous, similar to a pig snout.
Proboscis.
Here, let me see if I can show you a picture, Brett. Let me go to my screen. I'll pour that sucker up because honestly, it's kind of cute.
Yeah, they got a long proboscis.
What?
A long proboscis.
So this is what the aardvark looks like, Brett.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like a kangaroo had a baby with a armadillo.
Yeah, it's cute in a weird way. I'm sure if you saw it like in the zoo, roaming around, probably similar to how you look at a kookaburra.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. As a kid, I never would have thought to look it up. As the dog, I'm sitting here, I'm like, wait a minute. I have Google. I can look it up.
Yeah.
So yeah. See a penny, pick it up all day long. You have good luck. Is just one of those sayings / myths that, for lack of a better word, as I was looking it up, there is no great tale for why it started. It's just one of those sayings that came about, and it's easy to say, and I know it's one of those things I've repeated around my kids, and they go, "What?" It's like, it's just a thing. So sometimes things can just be things.
Yeah.
So, Brett, to close out our deep dives, is there any actual marriage advice that you have either heard and thought that's dumb, I'll never do that, or stuff that you were like, that is genius, I will always do that?
Always, never use, when you're fighting, never use the words always or never. Never tell your partner that they never do something or that they always do something. Yep. And use I feel language instead of just telling someone that this is the way it is.
Yep. I think those are very wise. Very wise indeed. I'm a big believer in you let your person go to bed if they're upset. It's okay. 9 times out of 10, if my wife goes to bed upset with me, she comes to me the next morning and goes, I'm really sorry for what I said before I didn't have sleep. Yeah. And the other big one, we we were talking about before, but I'll make sure I mention it here. We've learned that we have to say things to each other and affirm each other and go, I am on your team. We're working together. I'm here with you. Because too often we have heard in the past, you're this, you're that. Like Cory heard, you're a loser. I've done that. So, yeah, trying to take it less personally is the big thing.
Yep.
Trying to find ways to not make things personal about what the other person is doing and what you're getting back to what you talked about of, making sure it's the I statement. This is how I feel. This is my experience. Yeah. Brett, shall we get to grades?
Well, how about we talk about what we learned first?
Well, fine. Let's talk about what we learned first.
All right.
You know anything about the Odyssey? Huh? Did I say you could talk?
I didn't teach you that.
My friend Mr. Matthews will lead the discussion.
Do I have to draw you a picture?
Well, my learning is pretty darn obvious. Fight fair, kids. Just communicate openly with your partner when it comes to an argument. Don't take pot shots and low blows. Just fight fair.
Yep.
I mean, that's what the whole episode's about. There's no point for me to look for any deeper hidden meaning. Just take the episode at face value. Fight fair.
Yeah. But I mean, the biggest thing that stuck out to me, Brett, was if you're upset and you're not okay, you probably need to be okay with not being around other people. It's okay to separate yourself and to realize that you need to not potentially explode in front of all the people you know. Because Cory could have said, let's go home and talk about this, but he didn't have the tools yet to do that. So, yeah. Stop poking the bear, Topanga.
Yeah, don't poke the bear. Don't poke the bear. Yeah. Well, in that case.
I'm right?
No, you're exactly right.
So am I done with my education? Can I go?
Tyler, how would you grade The Provider?
I would give this episode an A. From my vantage point, there are those little nuisances, critiques. I'm not a huge fan of outing someone and using that as comedy. But on the same token, it's there literally just for the joke. And I get that. So I can't hold that against the show at the time. But I think A is pretty reasonable. And again, this is one of those episodes that meant a lot to me. So, yeah.
I'm going to go with an A minus.
Fair.
It teaches a good solid lesson. It handles it fairly well. There's a part of me that would have liked to have seen them handle just a little bit more in their actual conclusion. I mean, I know it's really difficult, especially in a 22-minute episode and in a show that's target audience is effectively teenagers, to have an argument resolved in a satisfactory manner. There are times when I watch through this and it feels like their resolution is a little bit glossed over. And like I said a couple of times, as great as it is that they have to figure this out on their own, it would have been nice to have a sounding board there with Alan and Amy where they have someone to look up to who's had to learn how to fight fair before. But on the whole, as it stands on its own, it's still a solid in the A range episode, so an A-.
Yeah. Agree completely.
Yeah.
Of course, my wife had to bring down the rating for that.
Well, at least it's still in the B range for her.
Yeah. It'll fit solidly in the B bracket.
There you go. I believe you owe me some dad jokes before we head out.
Oh, yes, that I do. Alrighty, let's do this. I'm not sure if we've done this one yet, Brett, but let's do it anyway. Where can you learn how to make the best ice cream?
Where?
Sunday school. Where do typists get a drink?
Where?
The Space Bar.
Ah, yes.
And Brett, why do bees hum?
Oh, I've heard this one before, but I don't remember.
Because they don't know the words.
Yes. That one deserves. All right. Well, good looking people. Thank you for sticking around and hope you enjoyed our special guest, the moms, this week.
Yeah.
Let us know how much you enjoyed them by dropping us a message at our social media channels at dadsmeetworld across Facebook, Instagram, and X/Twitter, or by sending us an email at dadsmeetworld@gmail.com. And you can check us out on YouTube if you're not already watching us there at dadsmeetworld. And you can leave us a review or a rating wherever you get your podcasts. That brings us up in the algorithm, lets us share the dad love with people around the world. It's the easiest and free way that you can show us your support. So until next time, I'll see you, good looking.
Back to you, good looking.
You know, how can I learn so much every week and still be so stupid? Let me touch something! I'm gonna get back and start slapping some people around. Oh, I am never gonna pee again! You lied to Topanga! I want to be normal, Spud!
This is good TV! Dad's Meet World is a production of Headfirst Studios. Headfirst Studios. Tell your story.